All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I really want to share something special with you today, but what I wanted to do before that is give you the Daily Mastermind quote of the day. So if you haven't downloaded the mobile app, make sure you do that. The quote is, "What happens is not as important as how you react to what happens." How you react to what happens is definitely what gives things meaning when you're dealing with them. So I wanted to talk to you today because I had some time this weekend to reflect, and we're dropping this episode of the podcast a little bit later because, as many of you know, I run several businesses, and I'm dropping it a little bit later, but I try to keep real time with our episodes and our topics and things that I think might bring value to you. And, this weekend I was reflecting on some things, and many of you know that one of my closest mentors I had for, 20 plus years passed away this last year, Robert Stuberg. And you've heard me mention him in the podcast before. You've heard me talk about him. We've done some speaking together. But, I was reflecting this weekend on ultimate destiny and where you want to go with your life. And as many of you know, that's one of his signature courses he had, which is creating your ultimate destiny. And I thought about it and I thought, he just had such an eloquent way of identifying and defining what most people are thinking in their minds as far as what's my purpose? What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? And so I thought what I'd do today is just read from you a little bit from the first chapter of one of his courses, Creating Your Ultimate Destiny. And I think you're going to really love it. I think it's something that will bring, big value for you. And so if you get a chance, just sit back, listen to some of the words that he talks about. And as always, hit like and subscribe on the podcast. I'd love to be able to get some feedback from you. And I look forward to helping you throughout the week. So let's go ahead and get right into this. And I think you're going to really get some value out of it. He says, "I'd like to begin by asking you a very important question. The question is this: if you could do anything you wanted with your life, what would it be?" Think about that for a moment. If you could decide whatever you wanted to become in life, what would it be? That's not an easy question. In fact, it's also not a question that most people spend a lot of time thinking about. It's so easy to get caught up in the busy pace of life that we may put questions like that temporarily on hold, or perhaps permanently on hold. Well, the purpose of this message is to get you focused on that question and to assure you that you do have the choice to create whatever life you'd most like to live. You can decide what you want most to do in your life, and you can turn your vision into reality. All you need to do is know how to unlock your true potential, which is one of the secrets to living your ultimate destiny. In fact, understanding and activating your true potential will attract all the good things life has to offer. Allowing this secret to expand your awareness of what's possible and acting upon it will be the most important turning point in your life. So here's the secret to living your ultimate destiny, stated in 3 simple words. You are powerful. What I mean by this is that you have the talents and abilities and strengths and convictions that are lying dormant, just waiting to be released. You are powerful. Incredibly powerful, more powerful than you ever thought possible. That power lies within you, waiting to be discovered, to be appreciated, to be fully utilized. It's your hidden wealth, and you're the only person who can access it. Unfortunately, the vast majority of people don't believe this, and therefore they never utilize even a fraction of their true power, their hidden wealth. Even though they may have been exposed to the idea, they don't believe it. They don't believe that they can reach deep inside themselves to uncover and make use of an enormous reservoir of talents and abilities that lie dormant. But the starting point to tapping into your power is contained in your beliefs. Listen to that carefully. It's contained in your beliefs. You must believe that you have what it takes to fulfill your destiny in life. I promise that once you accept the existence of your power, you can attain any level of success, any worthy accomplishment, or any station of significance or privilege to which you aspire. Indeed, once you accept it, you have power to change your world. So how will this power manifest itself in your life? The first awareness of it may be a growing sense of something missing in your life, a feeling that you're destined to do more and experience more. And in time, these vague stirrings may evolve into a more focused need or longing for something better in your life that you now experience. Then slowly, perhaps, but surely, you'll recognize the emergence of a more powerful self. This new power will carry with it a conviction and a confidence that you've never had before. You'll begin to be moved by a driving force to achieve your grandest goals. This sense of power, like your confidence, will grow as you continue to reinforce your belief in its presence and influence as a force in your destiny. But the starting point, as I mentioned before, is contained in your belief that you're powerful. You have talents and abilities and strengths and convictions that lie dormant, just waiting to be released. I love how Robert puts this, because I do believe that you have to understand and believe that you are powerful. And I love how he puts that. That's why I wanted to read that to you. I want to give you one more additional section that I think it'll take it one more step for you. And this section of his program is called The Real Meaning of Destiny. The first step towards mastering your destiny is simply acknowledging that it's possible to exert control over your life. Listen to that carefully. You must accept, as we've discussed, that you have the power to exert the control. Unfortunately, few people really live in this way. For many, the word destiny conveys a curious, even mystical concept. The dictionary calls destiny the predetermined, usually inevitable or irresistible course of events. It's a definition that appears to have many interpretations. For some, destiny means life is controlled, even predestined by external forces over which individuals have little or no say. The ancient Greeks, for example, believed that a person's future was determined by three goddesses called the Fates or destinies. The first fate, Clotho, spun the thread of life. The second, Lachesis, measured the length of the thread so that the last fate, Atropos, would know where to cut the thread to end the individual's life. Since ancient Greece, people have found reasons to believe sincerely that their individual destinies were determined by such other forces as gods, astrological signs, spirits, numerology, or even aliens from outer space. But for some, divine predestination is an important religious belief. Some are convinced that individual fate is determined solely by either hereditary or environment or even both. But the obvious problems with these preemptive prescriptions for life is that they not only relieve the individual of the responsibility for their actions, but they rob us of the incentive and initiative to live up to our potential. It reminds me of what I call the conveyor belt philosophy of life. With this outlook, we merely have to step on the beginning and be carried throughout life without initiative or interruption to a predetermined destination. It may be safe, it may be secure and undemanding, but it leaves little room for creativity, individual achievement, or opportunity to enjoy the ride. So let's look again at the definition of the word destiny. It says that destiny is the predetermined, usually inevitable or irresistible course of events. What's missing here, of course, is the who. Who predetermines the course of events? I certainly don't mean to fault or take issue with those who, by religious teachings or traditions, do ascribe to a part of the direction or influence for their lives to a higher power. But I don't think any of us can afford to abdicate complete responsibility for what happens in our lives. If we're going to progress, if we're going to succeed, if we're going to recap the rewards of our efforts, each of us has to be the one who predetermines and makes inevitable and irresistible the course of events in our life. These reflections on individual destiny always bring me back to the familiar but reliable saying that God, or whatever higher power you believe, always helps those who help themselves. I don't believe anyone is entered as a favorite in the human race. Certainly, some people start out with more than others, but everyone is given opportunities to advance in the world, and everyone has the free will and power to act on those opportunities. We are all empowered to reach our highest potential. Not to do so is a waste of the gifts and talents and free will that our natural birthright gives us. So Robert goes on to say, I urge you to define your destiny as a self-charted path to the successful future that you've decided to create. Experience the full potential of your destiny by exercising the power of your talents and the free will you've been given. Consider the destiny as a happy exciting, and fulfilling journey that's always in progress, not just a final destination. It's a sum total of your well-designed life. It's the highest expression of what you believe. Your destiny is predetermined by you and will always be subject to change for the better based on what you do. So I wanted to share that with you because I think I wanted to remind you in a very eloquent way that Robert puts it, that you can choose your destiny. You can make the decision to create the destiny that you want to have and the life that you want to live. But you've got to start by realizing that you have power inside of you and starting to cultivate that belief, because that belief that you have of your true destiny and your potential is what's going to help you to execute on your ultimate destiny. So that's my message for today. I hope it's something that will inspire you to get refocused on your life. We're in the fourth quarter. We're going into the fourth quarter. Games are won or lost in the fourth quarter. It doesn't matter where you've gotten to this far this year. What matters is how you finish the game. What matters is how you finish the year. Finish strong. Don't make it to the finish line. Go through the finish line. That's my message for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're dealing with. Hit me up on the Daily Mastermind at Facebook or Instagram. DM me. I always answer all of these messages that I have coming in. And I look forward to talking with you a little bit more tomorrow. Once again, this is the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III. Have an amazing day.